Oh, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Gang, there's going to be a big party this summer. It's being hosted by a big family, and they're hoping everybody's going to show up. It's the Steeves 250. Girls, thank you so much for coming in. We have Bobbi Steeves and Kerry Rakuson. I had to check the name because we were just talking about the pronunciation of her last name, and then I got all nervous about it. So there we go. So you guys are helping out. You're organizing this this big event, the 250th celebration of the Steeves family. Most people don't even know that they're one of the original families that kind of came in here and settled in this area. So we've got lots to talk about. I wanted this, and there's so much to go because you guys are planning a huge event. It's like a week-long event. Give us an idea, because we were talking earlier, and you said that you, when it was the 200th anniversary, there was a lot of people that showed up here in our community. So give us an idea of how many people showed up back then.
Well, it's interesting because we were looking back, at the history, and the bicentennial was huge in Hillsborough at the time. And in the days where there are no social media or Facebook or anything fun like that to share anything, the invitations were actually hand done. They were sent by letter. We had
letter?
By 1,400 delegates came, and actually 9,000 people came through for the weekend. Borden Steeves at the time was the organizer, and they had done the account. So yeah, we had the actual Times transcript, newspaper footage from those times, and it was really, really interesting. People came from Kenya and Japan.
Wow,
so
that's amazing. And
yeah,
now the idea, exactly at that time, now
yes.
with social media, you guys have a beautiful website. It's steeves250.com.
Yes.
It looks great. The layout is fantastic. Now I can assume that you guys are expecting a huge number of people as well, if not, maybe more.
Well, so we've put our target at 10,000 just to be conservative, because it's always good to plan a festival with conservative numbers. But of course, looking at the numbers that drew the attention in 1966, without internet, we certainly expect that we're going to exceed those numbers.
That is amazing. Just that alone, I think it's amazing just to think that one family in the Hillsborough area could generate that kind of that kind of appeal. I should say appeal, but I guess the amount of people that would come into this area for that time would be a huge, just for the economy alone. I mean, this is numbers comparable to when we have major concerts or big events in the city, and this is a family coming in to have a reunion.
Well, exactly, and I think the important statistic there is within the genealogy there is an estimated up to 300,000 people globally that have ancestry that can be linked directly back to Heinrich and Regina Steeves, who landed in Moncton at Halls Creek in 1766.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about that, Kerry. Just give me an idea of a bit of the history. Give us the Coles Notes history of how they landed, and then from then on, where does the family go?
So they were part of a group of settlers that came from America to here, and they had originally gone from Germany to America, and in 1766 they were on a sloop called the Lovey with 10 other families, six of which were German, and they landed at Halls Creek with that group, and they spent a pretty rough winter here, and thanks to the Micmac and the Acadians, they had some assistance. Primarily, there's a major contributor, the Bellevaux, who assisted them in learning how to work the land and things like that. They eventually moved across the river and went down to Hillsborough, and that's how they ended up down there, was they began working the land down in the Hillsborough area.
Excellent.
And our family I'm descended from Frederick, one of the sons, and he went to Moncton. Of course, at that time, Hillsborough and Moncton were, all one area. That's 12 miles difference. And our family has been at that corner of Mountain Road and Gorge Road since 1700, so
wow.
1766.
And I think that's an important point Bobbi made, is that the one thing that made the Steeves family unique to the other 10 families that came on the ship and the other 6 German families is that there were 7 sons that came with them. So those 7 sons were fairly prolific, and that is how we've ended up with such a giant family tree. And the name has been changed over time. So there's Steeves with 2 E's, Steeves with 1 E, Steef is the original name out of Germany, family. And if you look at Vancouver, there's a community called Steveston. And in Steveston, there's a number of streets with Moncton, the original spelling with the K and things like that. Well, that was one of the descendants that had went from this side of the country to the other side of the country, developed this fishing community, and now it's one of the major areas in the metropolitan of Vancouver.
It's amazing. It's really amazing just to see that kind of outreach. And plus, I mean, you said as well, Steeves in Kenya, Steeves are like they're
At that time.
Globally all across the world. So you guys are probably expecting that kind of outreach. I would imagine that people should be coming in from a large number.
Well, and it's an incredible opportunity for everyone to learn about their family history. You know, and we have a whole week of events that's going to cover history and genealogy and fun and family and food and entertainment. And we have a unique opportunity in this instance because of social media, because we really want to be in touch with the people that are coming. So understand what they do and what they work, what they're notable for, what their talents are, so that we'll have an opportunity when they do get here to showcase some of those things. So we're trying to make it as personalized as possible, as inclusive as possible, to have as many people come and register and actually actively participate in the week, not only just to watch and enjoy, but to actively participate. So we're extremely excited as a group, as a board, the Village of Hillsborough, the City of Moncton. Over the next few months, we'll be announcing the full event schedule, so we'll be sending out teasers slowly for everyone, so you'll know exactly. The website shows an event schedule, but we'll be elaborating on all of it.
Filling a little, because there's a lot of stuff on there already. I mean, there's parades and activities for families and things like that. I mean, it's a week-long event, so there's a lot of stuff kind of planned, but that's great. I mean, I find there's a lot of stuff for people to do. And I mean, we were talking about it earlier as well. Obviously, there's this lots of people have a bit of Steeves in their ancestry. Let's say that. But as well, like there's parades and things. So this is really open for the whole community to kind of be able to see and participate.
I think the important thing to understand is that the Steeves are hosting a festival for the week, and we're hoping all of our cousins come to host southeastern New Brunswick.
Right on, right on. One thing, and again, like I was mentioning the website, it looks fantastic. I want to talk about two things off the website. One of them is that you're asking people to kind of submit family stories, just kind of neat stories from notable Steeves. So that's kind of an interesting thing.
So it doesn't have to be a notable Steeves, it can be any Steeves submitting a family story. It can be a friends of Steeves who have a Steeves family memory. They may have played with the Steeves in the neighborhood and have a special memory. So on the website there's an opportunity to submit your stories, and they will be highlighted. Not all of them will end up on the website, but they will all be used in some manner throughout the week, because this is part of what Bobbi was speaking about the inclusiveness and engaging people, and that's really important to us. As well, there's opportunity to submit photos, because we're going to start to gather those and display those in various different ways as well.
That would be really neat to really see some of those old photos. I mean,
and we all have some.
So that's and it's nice in the sense that, especially for people around this area, it's a nice snapshot to see of what Moncton was and Hillsborough was all these years ago. What might just be a nice photo, a family photo. That background might tell us something about the area that has now long been forgotten. So I love getting into that kind of history. It's really
And
neat.
don't forget that part of the celebration on the first Saturday is the attempt for the Guinness World Record.
Oh, that's
for
right.
the largest family celebration.
That's right. And what is it? I think it's on. I don't know if it was from a CBC article that was covering this. It mentioned that the Gallagher family in Ireland, curse those Gallaghers. They currently
That's
hold
okay,
it.
we're going to crush them.
Yeah, so they currently hold it. So you guys are going to try to. That'll be easy.
Yeah. So
right?
just
you're going to fill up the Coliseum with as many Steeves as you can find.
As many people as we can find. As many Steeves and friends. That is an entire day of history and learning about your community and the first settlers and how it all happened, and a celebration of all of those moving pieces. As you can imagine, organizing a 7-day festival is quite an undertaking.
A task.
But,
people have a hard time just doing like a day.
And it's a labor of love, and it's been a labor of love for our board of directors that started talking about it, a few years ago. So we're trying to to make everybody's dreams come true, really. Like, we can't forget that this is probably the largest family event that we'll ever see in our lifetime. So we want to make sure that everyone enjoys it, that the community celebrates together. So yeah, we're really excited.
Fantastic. Well, look, we only have a little bit of time left. I imagine, first off, as many people as possible to go check out the website. It looks
Yes.
great. The other thing I want to
Absolutely.
mention is that you can actually pin on the map, so you can show where you are, and on Facebook as well. I think that's going to be great. And I don't even know if we actually said the dates. It's actually July 22nd to the 29th this summer. Steeves250.com. Check it out, everybody. It's going to be a party, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so
Thank
much for
you.
being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.